everybody. Just wanted to take a moment to let you all know that we really appreciate all the feedback and the excitement that everyone has shown so far. We're very excited for the upcoming season, and we hope that you keep the comments coming. Thanks for watching.
1992 Mazda Miata. Custom valve Bilstein shocks, Hawk HP Plus rear and HPS front pads, Birdstone RE71R in a 205/50/15, goes into SCCA Autocross Class E Street and NASA XF.
What are we doing?
Alright, so Miata.
Yes. So we're going to start the same way. So that was our
Yeah.
Miata or whatever.
Right. What? We just did.
Oh, we just started.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that was it.
Oh,
He just said Miata.
it's my car, so let me start off. I picked one up from down in Kentucky somewhere for a very cheap price. Rusty, beat up paint, all that stuff. But I think that's what Autocross is all about.
That's certainly why I've gotten into it. I mean, the low cost of autocross as far as compared to other forms of motorsport is, I mean, that's the reason, a lot of people are able to do it.
And before we get further into that, too, because you were speaking about the paint, if you have pictures that you can put up that show the progress of that car from what it looked like to what it looks like now.
Right.
And more importantly, I'd love to see your receipts, too, because it was like $60. And that thing looks like $1 million now.
Right.
I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I cannot believe you're able to paint that car to look the way it does now for...
It at least looks like $1,000.
Yeah, I mean,
not $1 million.
Yeah, it was an amazing transformation because
It was.
I didn't say anything when you got it, but that car looked rough.
It was pretty ratty.
Yeah, it was. Beat.
But I mean, that's the thing about Miatas is they can be picked up cheap.
Yeah.
And they're easy to work on and easy to fix, and they're just like we're going to talk about here in a moment, natural.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like they're made for this stuff.
Yes. One of the things I think most of us noticed about that car was the size of that car is compared to the other cars that we reviewed so far. That it was great. I mean, it was.
Well, the size of it, yeah. I mean, the smaller the car is, the larger the track seems. The sharper you can cut a corner, you can get further out, you can cut the apex closer with one.
Well, take a car like a Corvette, and an element that's capable of Corvette is barely even adjusting the steering wheel on a Miata.
There were a couple spots. I think that Chicago box towards the back. And maybe even the little chicane,
It's just flat.
The two gates in the front. Yeah, I think it was
just
barely
a tiny bit of steering
correction.
input, and
It didn't even peel one tire.
Oh,
in
God.
that spot.
We'll get back to that
already.
Differential.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're good.
We're still talking about the good of that car on RE71Rs, aren't we?
it was really good tires, right?
Really good tire.
Yeah.
They were
And
magical.
I think Nathan loved it.
And they didn't
He
delaminate,
did
so
love
that's
it.
always a plus.
So
He didn't want to admit it.
I'm not gonna lie that I liked the tires. They were good, and generally speaking, the overall grip of the car was absolutely phenomenal. That is probably one of the few cars that we've got that we've done that has completely and totally exceeded my expectations.
Mine too.
I'm not trying to say that I thought it was going to be bad, but it was really good. I mean, the amount of grip in it was, and the shocks on it were extremely good. The dampening was great.
Yeah.
Damping.
Yes.
And that is Bilstein shocks, custom valved. It was huge improvement once I changed tires, brakes, and shocks. Basically, that's all you can change on that car.
In that class,
in
right?
that class, except I didn't have sway bar, and I don't know if you guys want to talk about diff right now, but it has open diff.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we can go on about that damn diff for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that was
The biggest detractor from having an excellent experience was the lack of limited slip differential in that car.
I will go out on a limb here and say differential on that Miata was the worst part of any car we reviewed. I'm going that far.
It probably was.
It was more of
I
a
do
bad
agree.
thing than the SRT4 being front wheel drive.
Ooh!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
That's harsh.
That's
big.
it was, man, that
It was bad though.
Because it just...
If you're in the corner, there at no point does hitting the gas do anything more than set the weight back a little bit so that the car will stop oversteering. That's all you could do with the throttle in the middle of the corner. If you wanted to accelerate, forget it. Not gonna happen. Anyway, moving on. Were we mean enough about the diff? It was really
possible.
Yeah.
That could have its own episode.
Owners cannot even defend that.
We could have Nathan set him loose with 2 topics. Bridgestone pretends are RE71Rs
Right.
and open diffs on
I can't believe you
Miata
didn't-
and give
That
him...
car had both of them.
Yeah.
And you liked it.
What did you think? Oh.
I like that car.
Oh, no.
The tires are not bad, and I did not
They're
say
fantastic.
previously that they were bad. I just said
No,
that they
you
were
just
not
don't like the
as-
fact that they're the overdog and nobody else wants to give the rival S a chance. Or anything else
something like that. Yes.
at this point.
So, comfort or...
Lack thereof.
Lack thereof?
Yeah.
Of comfort.
That was my top negative. The ergonomics, the pedal placement, the horn. The horn placement is horrible. I hate the horn placement in that car. On one lap, I think I hit the horn 3 to 4 times. That's excessive.
Yes.
My hands are in the proper placement, but the horns are not.
The horn button is right below 3 and 9.
You know when you break up with someone, you say, it's not you, it's me. No, it is you, it's not me.
It's the horn.
It is your horn placement.
It's not your thumb.
Sucks.
That's the horn. I did not.
Even though nobody else.
I did not hate.
Oh, I heard it from other people.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, because
Oh,
I know
yes.
that I did. Yeah, I know that I did at least a couple times.
Okay.
Which is, I've driven several Miatas with that same similar steering wheel, and I do the same thing.
It is.
At least
It's-
once a lap. I was
Yeah.
not going to knock the total ergonomics, but the one thing that I would say was bad. It was stock seats, and holy crap.
Those seats suck.
It just needed bolstering way. It
The
was,
seats, you slide around in them, and when you do, there's like the seat plastic that comes up and digs into your shoulder blade. Terrible.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
very uncomfortable.
well, I just felt like I was like hanging onto the steering wheel.
I
There's
never
that
really
too.
felt
I
that,
mean-
though.
You know?
Did you do the seatbelt thing where you?
I was going to ask,
You
what
sit
about
way
the
back
the-
and then
what you did in your
jerk the
BMW where
seatbelt
you did
to-
the seat
Is
belt?
that, is that what you do?
That's what I always do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what car it is. I
I do
always
it
jump
on
the
the
seatbelt.
STS one as well.
Yeah.
So that trick to use your stock 3-point seatbelt is that you put the seat really far back, further back than you would normally sit, and you pull the seatbelt really tight, and then you jack it, and it locks in the inertia reel. And then, as you've got it held, you put your seat up, and it makes the seatbelt tight on you and hold you in the seat a
Oh,
lot
wow,
better.
just slack back.
That's a really good trick to learn if you're going autocross first time,
Right.
in a stock class especially.
Yeah.
Right, that way you're able to smoothly steer
Yep.
instead of having your body.
Yeah.
Instead of
Exactly.
using your steering wheel to anchor
If you're
yourself,
holding
actually
onto the steering wheel,
It's not effective.
you're not as well
Right.
in control of the car.
And one of the other
so-
things I put down is one of the detractors was body roll for me. It was pretty pronounced. There was a lot of it. Now I know going in that Miatas have a lot of body roll, but I would prefer
Well,
not to be there if I could.
Stock
In a-
4, I'm sure.
Right.
Street class, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't great, but it was manageable.
I didn't really notice the body roll as much, but I do understand that it contributed to like the tire spin and being thrown around in the seat and stuff. But while I was driving it, I didn't notice it all. All I noticed was just pure grip and balance and just
Shitty diff.
ease. Yeah,
Yeah.
shitty diff. I mean,
Yeah, it was balanced.
And it didn't have a lot of power either. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
that's I feel like that just sort of goes without
Yeah.
saying. 'Cause it's a 1.6 liter Miata.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
not very powerful.
It's not really competitive in the class,
Yeah.
but
Right, for street
what it
category,
is-
you want one of the big block 1.8s, right?
yeah.
But if you're just starting
Yeah.
out, this is an
Yeah.
excellent car for a beginner to learn with.
Oh yeah.
Because yes, it has body roll. However, it also has good brakes, which really is just the fact that it's not heavy. It's easy
Well,
to
but it
look.
had Hawk pads on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
The
mean,
brake-
and that's the nice thing is you're not going to burn through consumables that quickly. It doesn't weigh a
True.
lot. So
That's
even
right.
if you get tires that wear down quicker, they're going to last a lot longer in a Miata than a car with a lot more horsepower, which
Right.
is going to.
And they're
Right
smaller,
there is
Tires are
budget.
cheaper.
and they cost less. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That too.
But you
so.
hit on the brakes too. I thought the brakes were pretty damn good.
They were
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
They were great. That's the second thing I had: grip and then brakes, and then ease of
And that's
driving it.
stock calipers, stock size rotors,
Yeah,
It's
stock
all
everything.
stock,
You
yeah.
just have
Except
the
for
pads.
pads, yeah.
which pads
HPS in front and HPS in the rear.
doing that rear
I
stuff.
did feel the brake is mushy though. Like it's not like something wrong with it.
Now, have you
It's
done the
softer.
brake fluid recently? Because
Yeah,
that's
it's brand well.
So that's just
it's
the
brand new
feel.
fluid right
Okay.
before the season.
Just a lot of pedal travel.
Yeah,
basically.
compared to my other car I used to have, which was RX-8, it has amazing brakes. So when I switched from RX-8 to Miata, I felt like everything is mushy and soft.
I've driven a few RX-8s though, and I always felt like when I was in yours that the brakes on those were fantastic.
Yeah.
I felt like the initial bite was right there. You didn't have to get into the pedal near as much, so
And it's very linear braking.
I thought the brakes on yours actually. I guess the thing is the brakes on yours worked really well.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
question is the feel what you want, but it does perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may
Right.
not be the feel you might prefer. Some people like right at the top of the
Actually,
pedal when you
come
get
to
into
talk
it.
about feel, like the clutch and the brakes were both kind of a little squishy.
Right.
Yeah.
on
It's
that
also a
one.
really old car, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
things are just starting to
unless you
wear
go
out.
through and
Yeah.
replace literally every single component of the system you're dealing with, it might not feel up
Right.
to 100%.
Very fresh. Yeah.
Right. I think the only thing, the big takeaway for me is it is by far still one of the biggest bang for the bucks out there, bar none.
Absolutely. And you're
Quintessential-
talking very few bucks.
I would agree. I mean, it's the quintessential autocross car for a reason. It's still,
Right.
if you're getting into this or you're new to this, it's probably still the best car to pick out.
Right.
Or especially also if you just want to kind of learn how to work on a car. Too.
Right.
They're pretty simple.
Yep.
And they're just very neutral. They're very forgiving. So they will, in a way, teach you how to drive better.
Yeah. And also, there's no power, so you have to drive
Solid bullet.
very well.
Right. Which that
Otherwise-
also is good for tires, for brakes,
Yeah.
for consumables. So the cost of entry is low.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
cost to maintain is low. It's not.
Right.
They're not difficult cars to maintain.
No. Just keep a couple of differentials in stock.
Yeah.
Get a 1A.
Or just get an open diff
Or
and just
get
be
the
done with
1.8
it.
with a
Yeah.
Torsen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or an open diff. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
You don't
real
have to worry
bus.
about it.
You don't
worry
go
about it.
anywhere in a turn.
You don't have to worry about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
If you're on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like I was saying, attack, I mean, like that, I was able, I think, to do as much as I can do with this car. It just does, I mean, it just does what you want it to do. It's, there's a good reason these things are so popular at autocross events.
See y'all next time.
What is that? What is that? That's not a thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, you know what?
No, it is.